Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Jack Lower of Rochester Football. How's it going?
Going good. How are you?
Doing well. So kind of just talk about I know this past season was still good. Got some wins. Obviously not what you wanted, but
Mhm.
overall was still a pretty good year.
Yeah. So we went 3-6. Obviously, not the record you want, just shy of playoffs, but we were a very young team this year, so I'm definitely looking forward to next year. I mean, all the seniors that we had, they played their hearts out. A lot of the juniors stepped up this year, started to show some talent. So mainly just looking forward to next year.
Yeah. So tell everybody what positions you play.
I'm a linebacker and a running back,
Okay. So both
inside linebacker.
okay.
Yeah.
So both sides of the ball. Let's talk about just being a linebacker. What is defensively? What did you really just look at and improve at this year, you think?
So last year, I also started on varsity as a linebacker. This year was my first year doing running back. But as a linebacker, I mean, last year I had the aggression. I was very excited. And this year I focused a lot more on my ability to read keys faster, to get to where I need to go efficiently, and just kind of taking away like that weight, trying to get all that wasted movement just gone and just really being efficient at linebacker was my goal this year.
Yeah. So how do you feel like that you've I know this just defensively overall, like what did you really work on this summer to really just kind of improve?
This summer, I did a lot of speed training, got a lot faster this summer. That was one of my big goals. And then in addition, I worked a lot on my pass coverage, and then just really I worked a lot on scraping over linemen, stuff like that. Really just something to get my agility and get my reads faster. That was my main goal.
Yeah. You talk about being a running back and you just said this, I think the first season doing this as a running back, you said?
Yeah, so I really didn't know I was going to be a running back till maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before week one. So it was kind of jumped into the position. One of our players we expected to be running back broke his collarbone. So we kind of needed someone to get there. And at first, my coach was a little bit opposed to it. I was a little bigger, a little slower than some of the other guys that he wanted. But I mean, it was very fun and it ended up working out pretty well for us and for me at
Yeah.
running back.
Yeah. Well, so what were some of the things that you really focused on this season?
This season, so this season this was my first year being a captain, so I focused a lot on that team chemistry. We obviously had a pretty young team, so there's a lot of people who didn't really know how to act when they're on varsity. But I think overall we did a really good job of just coming together as a team, figuring that out. That was one of my main goals was the leadership. And then on the field was really I was just focusing on making sure that everyone was ready and prepared, even though don't have a lot of experience on the varsity level. And then personally, I mean, I was just making sure I was faster and efficient and just doing things that we needed to win for my team.
Okay, so what was it like being a captain?
So being a captain was pretty new experience. It was so obviously as a junior, like it was, I had to gain the respect of those seniors that weren't captains, which was something that I took very seriously. I made sure to show them that I was there to work for them, and they all ended up being very great about it. They respected me, and then it was also just like it was like an added task. Like as a linebacker, you're the leader of the defense. So now not only am I the leader of the defense, but I'm a leader of the entire team. And that was just it was responsibility. It really helped me grow. I really loved taking on that responsibility.
Yeah. So, you're only a junior. And being in a lot of these positions, what's the biggest thing that you learned from this season, just overall?
Probably the biggest thing I learned overall is hmm, probably just not to take it for granted. I mean, we had a bunch of players this year who just struggled with injuries, and I was fortunate enough to play every one of our games. But like I just know that all that preparing next year, like just enjoy the process because one injury in the season, I may not be able to play all the games I want to. So it's just really just enjoying the process, loving the grind. That's kind of what that's one of my biggest takeaways I had.
Yeah, I know football season is not I know obviously, still preparations for next year, but
Mhm.
I know winter sports are coming. I know that wrestling season is just right around the corner for you.
Oh yeah.
What's that going to be like? What's that going to be like for you? Because it's wrestling's kind of unique. It's a team sport, but it's also an individual sport as well.
Mhm. So I think so. We didn't have the best wrestling team last year. A lot of freshmen on the team though, so really excited for the team. Hoping we can get a lot more wins. Personally, my goal is to be an all-state wrestler this year. Last year, I lost in regionals to two wrestlers that ended up going all-state. So I put in a lot of off-season training and wrestling on top of football. So I'm really just hoping to go in there, dominate, get to that all-state title. Is really my goal.
Okay, so talk about just how you like, get like mentally ready for like a game or a match. Is it different to get ready for a wrestling for a match and and compared to a game, or is it the same?
They actually are pretty different. So for a match, it's more of a like I can't really like I can support my teammates in a match, but I can't really help them out in when they're wrestling. So like helping my teammates out is different. Also preparing myself. I'm just wrestling one person, so I'm preparing for that one person. But football, it's more you got everyone's a team, everyone's working together like as a unit, not just as individual matches. So a lot more teamwork is going on in my preparation, a lot more like making sure everyone is all good. It goes into that prep. And it's
Yeah,
less individualized on a person.
yeah. So just kind of talk about like what's on Jack's playlist to get ready. I'm not sure if he's a big music guy, but what's on your playlist if you are.
Um, bit of everything. I mean, I'm not a huge music guy, but I do listen to some people. I like Drake. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like a little bit of country, Morgan Wallen,
Okay.
but really a lot of everything. I mean, not really too picky.
Yeah. I know that with next year, preparing for senior season and all that. What are some of the things that I know you obviously you got your junior year of wrestling to focus on, but what are some of the goals that you have for your senior year of football? What are you really gonna work on throughout the winter and really in the summer?
I'm definitely gonna put a lot of focus onto my speed again. I definitely got a lot faster, but I have goals to get faster because I feel like that's one of the biggest things currently stopping me from like just. I feel like being that much faster could really help my game a lot. And I'm probably gonna put a little bit of time into running back this offseason. I didn't do it last offseason because I didn't know I was gonna play it, but now that I know I'll be getting reps there, I'm definitely gonna want to get some offseason training on that and focus up.
All right. Let's get to know you, Jack, a little bit. How about that?
Gotcha.
Uh, most uh, most memorable moment from your high school career so far.
High school career. Hmm. So for our HOCO preparations, like our HOCO like I forgot what it's called, but like the thing with in the auditorium, everyone's playing around that thing. We have a game, tug of war. So we do tug of war, grade versus grade. Last year, the sophomores, I was on the team. We ended up winning it all, beat the seniors. That was a really fun experience for me. That was probably something I remember.
Absolutely. All right.
Mm.
Favorite player growing up.
Favorite player, Megatron.
All
Love
right.
Megatron.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get to watch him live, but I loved him.
Yeah.
And then also Marshawn Lynch too. He
Yeah.
was my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. Yeah. Of course. That was, growing up, watching the Lions, it was like, yeah, this
Hmm.
was, good times. Now they didn't win a lot, but it was like,
Oh yeah, some
oh
good players.
yeah, big time. Favorite, what's your go-to place for food?
Go-to place, big Chipotle guy, and then also there's a place right down the street from me called Clean Eats. It's got some healthy food. I love going there too.
Yeah.
Those are really my two favorite places to hit up pre-game, post-practice, all that stuff.
Yeah. And finally, what is one thing you want to improve on this coming football season?
It's coming football season. I talked about the speed thing, but like, which is obviously one of my main things, but also I want to work on making sure that everyone on my team is just as efficient as they can be. I really want to push my team to the highest level we can be because I mean, last year I get to work with them. I want us to be perfect. So that's definitely something I'll focus on.
All right, Jack Lower, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and um, best of luck in this coming wrestling season. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.